Again, we're on the third problem, and I want to point out what some students do. They'll actually look at the answer key and then agree with it or not agree with it. So, for example, if you factor 6x squared plus 7x minus 5, they'd say, oh, yeah, this is right. And why is that? They multiply it out. But there's a disconnect there if you do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying that you should try to get the factorization before looking at the key. But this is, in fact, the correct factorization because 3x times 2x is 6x squared. You get minus 3 plus 10, which is 7x, and you will get minus 5. Now, if you look at this one over here, again, a relatively simple factorization. But again, your goal is to do that without looking at the key. Why do you look at the key? To make sure the key is, your answer is correct. In other words, matches the key. But this does work out. You do get 2x squared. Minus 4 minus 5 is minus 9, and plus 2. Worked out beautifully. Now, this one's more difficult, and I know it's more difficult. Right? This one's definitely more difficult. Now, certainly, if I were looking at that, I'm going to say I'm kind of looking at that, and it reminds me of a pattern. And the pattern it reminds me of is a minus b quantity cubed. And this is relatively simple. It's going to be a cubed minus 3a squared b plus, sorry about that, 3a b squared minus b cubed. And what your job is to recognize what the big A and the big B is. Well, it appears that it is 2x minus 1. And if you were to write this down, what do you get? 8x cubed. Again, I'm sorry about that. I'll put the cube there. 8x cubed minus, what's going to be 3 times 4, which is 12, x squared, plus, what do you get there? Well, you get 3 times, you just get 3. 3 times 2, 3 times 2 is 6. And then you're going to get x. Last but not least, 1. Does that work? Like a charm. You get the 8x cubed minus 12x squared plus 6x minus 1. So the factorization of that, yeah, it's that. So what do you do? Write the LCM down. Again, I'll remind you, the LCM must contain those factors. All right, let me write that down for you. Let me erase this over here. Whoops. LCM. Well, what factor do I see? I definitely see a factor of 3x plus 5. I definitely see a factor of 2x minus 1. It's here, it's here. But what do I notice over here? It occurs 3 times. That's the maximum number of times it occurs. Is there any other factor unaccounted for? Yes, 5x minus 2. Now, the order in which you write these down is incidental. Most people put the cubic at the end, but as far as I'm concerned, there is no difference between this and that or any other permutation of the problem. Let's look at the k, see if we match that. This is what I see in the k, which is 3x plus 5, 5x minus 2, 2x minus 3, quantity squared. Again, I want to remind you, your goal is to factor that and understand how to come up with the least common multiple, which is recognizing the factor and the maximum times they're needed in any one of the factorizations. Thank you.